Welcome to Sachin Study Tech. Today topic is container loading. So in previous video we are discuss about greedy method, greedy general method, where you can apply the greedy method. So if any problem, optimization problem, that is the minimization or maximization, if we find out the feasible solution. What is meant by feasible solution? Feasible solution means if any problem or any subset which satisfy some constraints is called as a feasible solution. Feasible solution, there is no guarantee that is the optimal solution. So here you can see in some problems it can give the optimal solutions. So feasible solution may be a optimal solution. Now we can discuss container loading. Here you can use the greedy method. So here it is a large ship is to be loaded with cargo. The cargo is containerized and all the containers are the same size. Different containers may have different weight. The cargo capacity of the ship is C. We wish to load the ship with a maximum number of containers. And let Wi be the weight of the ith container, that is 1 less than or equal to I less than or equal to n. Let xi be the variable whose value can be either 0 or 1. So what is meant by 0 or 1? We can consider that container weight, okay, that is 1. If we cannot consider that container weight, that is 0. So x value may be 0 or 1 here. What is meant by constraint? The constraint is here it satisfies any subset satisfies some constraints, that is called as a feasible solution. So in this particular problem, what is the constraint here? So here the number of containers is there, that is I equal to 1 to n number of containers, that is weight of each container, that is Wi into xi less than or equal to capacity of the ship. So this is the constraint. So any subset must satisfy this constraint, then those solutions is called as a feasible solutions. So what is the optimization function is? The optimization function is here it is I equal to 1 to n, that is x of I. So this is the optimization function. The time complexity of this container loading is big of n log n. Now we can discuss, you can take one example. So here example, suppose you have 6 containers whose weights are 50, 10, 30, 20, 60 and 5. The ship whose ship capacity is 100. Find an optimal solution to this instance of the container loading problem. Now what are the containers is there? Here 6 containers is there. 6 containers. Okay, that is container C1, C2, C3 and C4, C5 and C6. These are the 6 containers. Each container having some weight. So having some weights, the container 1, the weight of the container C1 is 50 and C2 is 10 here, C3 is 30, C4 is 20, C5 is 60 and C6 is the weight of the container is 5. So the ship capacity is capacity of the ship is 100. So this is the given data. So now we can solve this problem by using greedy method. So greedy method says that here you can see what is the one important point here. We wish to load the ship with the maximum number of containers. So how we can take the maximum number of containers? So here you can do, the weights are arranged in ascending order, then only you can load the maximum number of containers in that ship. So that's why, so here it can arrange 5 and 10, weight is 10 and weight is 20 weight is 30, weight is 30 and weight is 50 and 60. So you can see 5 is the container C6, 10 is the container is C2, and 20 is container C4, and 30 is container C3, and 50 is C1, and 60 for container C5. So these are the containers. So here it is weight of the containers, and we have the ship capacity is 100. The ship capacity is 100. So remaining ship capacity. So you can solve this problem by using greedy method. So here the weights are arranged in ascending order. Then only you can load those containers in that ship, maximum number of containers. So the initial ship capacity is 100. So I am considering here the weight is 5 for this C6. So you can subtract 100 minus 5. The remaining capacity of the ship is now. If we can load this weight in the ship, so here you can see this is the ship. Here it is capacity is 100. Then we can load this 5. So that is 100 minus 5. The remaining capacity is 95. So 95. Then you can take the 95 here. 95 minus 10, that is remaining capacity is 85. Here 85 minus 20, that is 65. 65 minus 30, that is 35. 50 minus 35. For example, here weight of this container is 50, but remaining ship capacity is 35. So we cannot load that weight in that ship. So it is not possible. Here also the container of the C5 weight is 60, but here availability of the ship capacity is now 35. So it is also not possible to load in that. For example, the ship capacity is 100. If we can take this, for example, here if we can take 60 and C5, then you can take 30, that is C3, and if you 60 plus 30, 90, plus here C2. So only you can take the 3 containers weights loaded into the ship, but in this case you can apply the greedy method. So we can take the 4 containers weights. So here it is one simple problem you can solve by using greedy method. So what is the XA here? What is the constraint here? Every time you can check the constraints. The ship capacity is 100. So if you can load that container weight in that ship, you can check that constraint. So that is I equal to 1 to n number of containers, that is weight of each container Wi and Xi, if you can consider that one or not. So that is less than or equal to ship capacity is 100. So this is the constraint. If you can satisfy this constraint, so that is here it can satisfy that constraint. Here X value is, here it is also you can load C6 and C2, C4 and C3. So that's why the weights are arranged in ascending order. You can load, these are the containers weights is loaded into the ship. Okay, next classes you can discuss some other problems by using greedy method. Thank you for watching this video.